And today, Sarah, we are doing what?
We're going to do a little grilled chicken.
Grilled chicken, and so we're demonstrating too the grill pan, which is a great technique to keep the fat content down, right?
Right. Now this is a cast iron grill pan, so I have this preheating because I want to get it really hot. If you're using one of the electric grills, like the George Foreman, something like that, that's a non-stick. Same thing. I just did a little bit of spray. You could brush it with a little bit of oil sparingly. What I've done here to make it cook faster, again, one of the secrets of low-fat cooking is having your food cook faster so it's not staying in the pan so long, less time to stick. I butterflied the breast, so that was how the breast looked. I just sliced it in half.
So show me that again. I need more time to zoom in here.
Okay.
Sarah moves very fast in the kitchen, sometimes hard to keep up. That's all right, go ahead.
It's that little speed track across the film. I butterflied it. I sliced the breast right through the fat part.
Oh, beautiful.
Sliced right through.
Okay.
And now what I have is a double-sized breast. This will cook faster.
Heating up in the Fitness Nomad kitchen. Getting exciting.
I'm going to season this up with a little bit of paprika, a little thyme. Thyme is a good herb for both chicken and any poultry and eggs. And then always black pepper. I'm a black pepper fan. And again, I don't use salt on my food, so I like to have things well seasoned, just so I don't miss that salt. I'm rubbing that in there. I want it to really stick in the chicken breast. You can do it on both sides if you'd like. I'm just doing one side here for the demo. And then I'm going to throw this. You're going to see how hot this pan is. It was smoking. I'll put it back on the... It's still smoking. You can hear that, baby.
You can hear that and the industrial refrigerator come on in the background. Great timing.
Now, this is where a meat thermometer comes in handy. When you're doing this split like this should only take about 5 to 6 minutes aside, but you want to make sure, because chicken breasts come in different sizes, you want to make sure that you have that cooked all the way through. You can actually cut it open to check too, but if you want to preserve your piece of meat, it's better to just jab the meat thermometer in there.
Jab it in there, baby.
The meat is getting cooked up around the edges a little bit. You can see it's getting a little bit white coming up. So I am going to, see the edges?
Yep.
So I'm going to flip that baby now. Not quite so hot this time around. Get that pan turned back up.
Beautiful.
And at this point now, it'll probably take like another 45 minutes. When I'm ready to judge the temperature, what I'm actually going to do is just jab this right in and keep it parallel to the piece of meat. I don't want it to come through to the pan. And you need to get at least a good 1.5 to 2 inches in there without melting your thermometer. And generally poultry, oh man, it's hot. Generally poultry you want to get to about 160 degrees. And it's going really slow up there. We're only about 120, which makes sense because that other whole side is still raw. All right, I'm taking it out. When we're catering, we actually use a charcoal grill for a lot of our grilling just because it gives a better flavor. And normally what we do with chicken breast is we grill it so it looks grilled on the outside and we finish it in the oven to prevent it from drying out. There's just no way you can do it on a grill and really have it without getting the outside burnt. Okay,
I was just asking Sarah kind of how do you tell when the chicken is done? And I don't think you can see it very well in the video here, but in that little piece
you can see the color difference there.
There's a little pink inside there. So you just want to use what you have in front of you, what you can see, to make that determination so that you don't overcook it. You definitely want to make sure it's cooked.
The other thing that you can see what happens when you cook faster, like a whole piece of chicken, I don't know if you remember what that was visually, what that was before, but this has really contracted. I mean, this is a muscle, and when you overheat it, you're shrinking the fibers, they're pulling in tight. So for a lot of my meat, chicken's not so bad, but when I cook turkey, for instance, I cook it slower and moister because turkey's a drier meat. I don't want that contraction. That gives you a drier mouthfeel for the meat. So I like to, this is pretty hot, this grill pan. So it cooks it fast, but it also, you have to be careful not to dry the meat out too much.
And of course, now as the fitness guy, I'm thinking it was a great representation. You're heating your muscles up during your workouts. They're shrinking. You got to stretch them when you're done. Fill them back up with water, nutrients, physique.
Or you'll be all dried up.
Or you'll be all dried up. This is a great thing you could be doing on a Sunday afternoon. You take an hour, hour and a half, cook yourself up half a dozen chicken breasts and get them ready for the week. It's difficult to get that meat thermometer in that hot, skinny chicken. Now there's a phrase you don't hear every day. Skinny chicken. It's just about there, right?
Yeah.
So just so you can kind of get a general idea of what it might look like when it's almost done.
Okay, we're actually going to take a little slice inside so you can see what that looks like. It said 160. Let's just take a slice of that meat. I'm just trying to slice through the middle so you can see a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And that's done. You don't have any raw pinkness.
Right.
And it was reading 160. So, and that's the fattest part of the chicken breast.
So the fattest part of the skinny chicken breast
is cooked.
Is cooked. All right, here we go. We're going to come back and serve it up. We'll be right back.
Okay, we're ready to eat. We have our grilled chicken plattered up here. This is a generous portion of rice, but we were looking at about 4 to 5 ounces of meat with half to a cup of rice, depending on your calorie intake, and about a cup of broccoli. That would be a fairly typical meal, not particularly fancy in this case, but simple and tasty.
And I think good to point out, this is that 2-to-1 carb to protein ratio that we talk about in everything. You've got a fibrous carb in your broccoli, the starchy carb in the brown rice, the lean protein with the chicken, and that is how as many of your meals as you can make happen should look. Thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome.